Thank you, Amanda, for the kind introduction. And thank you to the support staff and all the other fellows for making this such a wonderful event and the Cogut Institute such an intellectually exciting place to be. In my work, I look at the relationship between alienation and compassion. Rising suicide rates, depression, loneliness, anxiety, and a sense of powerlessness are often spoken of as the scourge of contemporary society. Such signs of alienation are frequently presented by scholars, reporters, and activists in contrast to idealized notions of social unity and care. Commentators ranging from Barack Obama to Marxist social theorist Franco Bifo Berardi have argued that empathy, sympathy, and compassion are needed to span the gulfs that have supposedly arisen between us. But what do we make of a situation where compassion creates rather than overcomes social alienation? My project, part of a Heartless World, intervenes in conversations on the nature of alienation and compassion by arguing that they produce each other. I argue that a transformation of compassion into altruism breaks down long-standing institutions of belonging, including, surprisingly, organized religions. In other words, not only does sharing suffering hurt, it can also drive people apart in the very ways that it brings them together. That argument arose from more than 3.5 years of fieldwork conducted with compassionate religious professionals in Japan after the 2011 earthquake, tsunami, and nuclear meltdown. Over the course of that research, I saw that this relation of compassion and alienation was more complex than a case of compassion fatigue. My interlocutors frequently told me about a practical contradiction in their lives. Engaging the suffering of others required considerable resources, ranging from money and volunteers to emotional fortitude and a desire to help. Those resources were often collected from religious institutions. However, in Japan, a strict interpretation of the division of church and state made the suppression of religious signs, such as prayers and sacred teachings, the condition of possibility for entering the sites where compassion could be practiced, such as municipal hospitals and public housing for people who had lost their homes in the tsunami. Suppressing religious signs suppressed efforts to proselytize, garner donations, and provide salvation for people, thus severely challenging the ability of particular religious traditions to endure in any recognizable, institutionalized way. Such, I argue, is the cunning of compassion. A desire to help suffering others provided religious professionals with a sense of purpose. Arguably, it even strengthened the category of religion, all while undermining the particular traditions and institutions comprised by that very category. Compassion thus created a separation and opposition between things that seemingly belong together, ironically making it more difficult to sustain compassionate activities. That is, compassion produced the alienation that it partially overcame. Thank you.